Hello and welcome to episode 60 of the Outdoor Gibbon podcast. 60 episodes, wow, flying along. Who would have thought that this is now almost 3 years old? I think the first ever episode went out just after the Stalking show. So it's fitting that we are going to revisit a quick update from David Freer, the creator of the Stalking show, to find out what the 2025 Stalking show has on offer for you, the customer, the guest going along to see it. But before we go there, there's a few things that have cropped up in the news recently I thought we should just cover. And if you've not seen them, it'll allow you to go away and actually have a look at it. Obviously, today's news, we're on the 19th of March 2025, and there is a big topic about shotgun licenses and firearms law in the UK after this young lad in Luton has managed to buy a shotgun with a faked certificate and cartridges and then proceed to go round and unfortunately take his mother, sister and brother's life, and was planning on doing some fairly nasty things in a school that he went to. Now, this was interesting because obviously the first time he tried to purchase this shotgun, it seemed it failed, and the second time he's managed to do it off one of the gun trading websites. Obviously, this I think came out of Gun Star or something like that. So it'll be interesting to watch what develops from this. Shotgun licensing has already increased in price, but now obviously there's going to be more scrutinising over shotgun and firearms legislation. So watch this space. In other news, it's not law yet, but it looks as though Scotland may well make it, if you want to stalk deer, you will have to have a qualification. Now, that doesn't just go for guides taking guests out. That's the lone stalkers, recreational stalkers, anybody along those lines. You will have to have either a DSC1 or potentially a PDS1. They're both the same type of certificate. They're both going in the same direction. But it looks as though this might well be made law up here. Is it another nail in the coffin for deer stalking in Scotland, even though they want more deer shot? Who knows? But yeah, as I say, not law at the moment, but it's on the cards. It's got to go through Parliament first. But if you are looking to get a qualification, obviously there is a link below to go and sign up for the PDS1. If you're in Scotland and want to do that, follow that link and then type in at the checkout SCOTT25. So that's SCOTT25, all in capitals. And you will get a discount, I think a 25% discount off doing the PDS1 qualification. But anyway, where are we in we are rapidly approaching the official buck season. Well, the unofficial, official, whatever you want to call it now that Scotland doesn't really have a buck season anymore because they're in all the time. But we've been seeing some really promising roebucks going about. I've got some guests booked in already, so let's see how we get on. Anyway, let's dive in and find out what David's got to say about the 2025 Stalking show. The Outdoor Gibbon podcast is proudly sponsored by the Shooting and Hunting Academy, an online training platform and UK registered learning provider that provides a host of accredited and nationally available courses and masterclasses delivered by leading industry experts. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Outdoor Gibbon. It's a short episode and we are having a catch up with David Freer, creator, owner, whatever you want to call him, of the Stalking show. I thought we'd do another one of these. It's the 2025 Stalking show. I think it's really important that we let you know what's actually happening. Welcome, David.
Thanks ever so much, Peter. Yeah, delighted to be here. Seems only like 5 minutes ago since we were chatting this time last year.
Absolutely. It's amazing how fast 24 went. But again, the 24 show was bigger than the 23 show. And I think everybody that I spoke to that went there said that they'd had a fantastic time. So what's 25 got in store for us?
Wow. It really genuinely is. a job to know where to start. But I suppose just pulling a couple of biggies out the bag from me is one, the big our collaboration and partnership now with the British Deer Society. I'm very excited about that. I think it's a great move forward in all sorts of ways, really, not only for the Stalking Show, but for the British Deer Society and so on, and what we can do to help each other. So very excited about that one. The other one is that we've put a lot of time and effort now into our dog section side of the Stalking Show, which is we now have the Stalking Show's Hall of Hounds. So, okay. I'm quite excited about that. We've got a gentleman called Mark Hinge working with us. He's helping us create the Hall of Hounds. That's a hall, as it says, on its own, all for various types of hunting dog breeds. Loads going on in there. Loads of accessories, loads of this, loads of that, and there's the organisations in there from various different breeds: Bavarians, Hanoverians, Wirehead, various different Vizsla breeds, German wire-haired pointers, all the dogs that you would want to see.
Oh, fantastic!
Tracking. So yes, I'm quite excited about that one.
And is that obviously last year you had a selection of hounds there, and they were kind of in the hall off to the side, but you had other sort of things happening in there, like the Deer Society were in there and a few of the others. Is that so the Hall of Hounds is dedicated just to dogs this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what you said. We mixed it up a little bit last year, which in quite honestly was probably a bit of a mistake, because it was quite noisy in that building with having teckles and dogs and all the different breeds in there. This year, we've always wanted to expand, and Mark that's heading that has done a great job. We've got loads more breeds in there, and as you said, it is all now one hall dedicated to our hunting companions. So yeah,
fantastic.
A really great spot, that one.
And I'm assuming we'll just dive in on the classics. I'm assuming we've got all the classics there. We're still going to have the calling competition run by Scott McKenzie and Rob. And obviously you've got sort of the main trades in the main hall, gun shops and the main brands. I think you've got the what is it? It's the kitchen, the theatre kitchen's back again with Jose and other people. Yes, exactly, Peter. Sometimes I take some of these things for granted because we do it, we do it each year, and we're always trying to build little bits. You only learn by the mistakes or the things that don't go quite so well each year. And every year we keep tweaking little bits and pieces just to improve it. For instance, last year we had one enormous screen, let's say a 5 by 6 metre screen up in the big hall. This year we've got 3 going up in various halls. So, bits of expansions, things like that. We've got 2 more halls as opposed to last year. So 2 additional halls that were never even used in the past. They are completely full of new stuff. We've got American trucks, we've got Toyota, we've got Isuzu, we've got quad bikes, all sorts of big boys toys to look at. We've got, in one of those halls as well, we've got the Aim Points game virtual reality shooting cinema. And we've gone one step further. We've built. We're building a German shooting stand. One of these you'd see in Germany on a great big ride. Wow!
So you get onto this shooting stand and your virtual reality. Then we've got a big screen there, so the viewers can see how good or badly you perform. So
fantastic!
That'll be loads of fun.
I think that's the thing. The VR is great now because it gives you that ability to have a go, to do the driven hunt, which for anybody in the UK is probably one of those things that's a bit something we don't get to do. So actually to be able to have a go virtually without having to pull the trigger, like go to a proper shooting cinema, which I think there's only one or two in the UK. It really is a good opportunity for people to have a go.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love it. I've had a couple of goes on it now, and in very recent times, I've been lucky enough to actually go abroad to Portugal and do some driven hunting, and it really does get the adrenaline flowing. So yes, to use this virtual reality, really good for practice, and it just gives you a flavour of what you can get up to out there. So excited about that, and also we've got our, as you alluded to, the deer calling competition. Yes, I'll probably take that a little bit for granted now because we've done it for 3 years. We've got a heap of prizes here sent out from various different companies, some amazing prizes, binoculars from Swarovski and GPO, and Viking Arms has sent us stuff, and all sorts of prizes that we're just going to give loads and loads away. We've also got a panel of deer calling experts, I hope, and so this year again we've just tweaked it slightly. We'll have these guys on stage, going to talk about deer calling a little bit, whether it's a roe buck you're calling in, seeker, or a red. And then we're going to have the deer calling competition as well, and just let people have a go and see how we get on.
Fantastic. And that's what I love about this, one of these parts of these shows. Obviously, you're saying you've got the deer calling competition with a load of great prizes in there. I've seen other guys putting prizes forward and things like that. Come along, have a go. And a lot of these competitions are people just doing it. You can come and enter. You've paid to come into the show and you can have a go. I was just, before we just went on, we were just saying about the podcast competition. We've obviously got 3-4 days of stalking on there now. Other great gifts on there, from knives to some clothing to some stalking show merchandise that you've kindly donated to us as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're doing a great job with the podcast competition as well. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing. Like, there's so many people now like you that have supported the show so much, wanting to be a part of this community and wanting to get involved. And we're all just so grateful for that. I think the industry obviously was clearly in desperate need of something like this. And I don't know, was I in the right place at the right time to put the Stalking show on? I don't know, but it's gone from strength to strength. But I think, to be totally honest, it's the support that the Stalking show has had right from day one, right up till now, from, as I said, people like you, Peter, and the rest of the world out there that's just getting on the back of it and just going for it. So,
well, I think it goes to that. It's a show that's dedicated for that type of event, that the stalking or the shooting, but it's not branched off to try and cover everything else. We've spoken about this before, and I think we were just talking about some of the German shows, because you'd been out to the Hund and Hound show in Germany, which again is a purely hunting show, and it's that being able to sort of bring that idea of a show almost back to the UK. To focus it in just allows people in the stalking community to go, well, do you know what? One, I can go and catch up with a load of mates that I've not seen for a long time. Two, I can have a look at some new kit. You've obviously spoken to some of the suppliers and said you need to put a bit of a show deal on. And we've seen that on some of the social media posts that are going out there. And I think that's great, because suddenly it means that people get that feeling that they're going to a show and they're actually going to get a bit of a deal, which you've lost in most of the places like the game fairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of bits there, as you said, Peter. Yes, we the team, the Stalking Show team, if you like, we went out to Germany this year. First time I've ever been really to a show abroad, and I wanted to go to the Jagd und Hund show in Dusseldorf, Dortmund it was. And I wanted to see how they do it. It's been around forever, and apparently it's the show to go to if you're into hunting. I wanted to take the team out there and let's see if we can pick up any ideas and see how it goes. The one great big thing I brought back, as we were talking just before we started here, was the social side of that event. Yeah. So we opened the doors to the Stalking show at 8:30 in the morning. And we close at 4 o'clock here. I think it's 4:30 in the afternoon, and it fizzles out, really, to be fair, yes, in mid-afternoon. And I think that's, in the UK, that's pretty the norm for all shows, for it to fizzle out. Totally different in Germany. These guys are only just starting the engines at 3 or 4 o'clock. in the afternoon. And I really mean that. They don't open the doors to the show until 10 o'clock. So you can't get in till 10. And then then you have a few hours round the show, see what you want to know. And they're all at the various different bars, areas, the social side of it, loads of seating. And then it's lots of singing, enjoyment, everybody having a beer and catching up with all their mates. And at 6, 7 o'clock at night, the security are giving out like, can you leave now, guys? Nobody wants to leave. Nobody wants to leave. There's thousands of people still there at 7 o'clock at night, and they're asking people to leave. They don't want to leave.
The Outdoor Gibbon podcast is proudly sponsored by the Shooting and Hunting Academy. Through the Academy, shooters, hunters, and those involved in the use of firearms can gain an in-depth and unique level of training that enables them to shoot better, behave more effectively in the field, up their strike rates, as well as learning new skills. Crucially, those new to deer stalking, the Academy also offers the Proficient Deer Stalker Certificate Level 1, the PDS1, a deer management certificate that is nationally recognised and accredited both by LANTRA and UK Rural Skills. Visit the Shooting and Hunting Academy to find out more. Let's get back to the show.
That was the big thing we brought back, that, we want to try and improve the social element to our event. And again, just dropping onto the other bit you mentioned there was about show deals. I smiled when you brought it up. I work relentlessly, absolutely relentlessly, with our retailers and mainly our distributors and saying, guys, come on, put some show deals on instead of getting people coming to a show, then picking up the internet, they're looking on their mobile phones, either buying stuff later down the line. Let's do show deals where they can pick it up, feel it, and buy it on the day. And all our friends and visitors have gone home, and you know what? They've had a proper deal. They've had a social day and a proper deal, and that's all I want to achieve with the stalking show.
You basically want people to leave with a bag full of stuff, and if they leave with a bag full of stuff, that just means that
That's how it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. You went to the show because you saved all your cash, you stuck it in your pocket, you went to the show to spend that money because you were going to get something at a show deal rather than going on the internet and a postman turns up with a cardboard box for you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. And I have to say a massive thank you to all the retailers and the distributors like Viking Arms, Highland Outdoors, GMK, these big guys that go to, they are big companies, and they're slowly getting it. They are really getting it. I know all those I've mentioned are all doing some one-off show deals, whether it's ammunition, rifles, clothing. They are doing some deals this year. We have really started to turn we've started to turn the key now, and they are really getting it and jumping on board with show deals that you're not going to get anywhere else. So
no, that's fantastic. And you know what? That's one of the things we were just talking as well about people coming to the show and the enthusiasm for it. It does seem as though this show is just growing arms and legs. More and more people talk about it's the show they would go to. You see it on the social media feeds. What shows are people going to? Just go to the stalking show, or just go to this. And it is mostly, don't bother with the rest, just go to the stalking show. So you've obviously you've hit the nail somewhere in the right spot, and it's working a treat.
Well, to be honest, Peter, it's not rocket science. It's just like we all exactly the same. We all talk about what we want and what we used to get. All I've done is really put what I want into practice, and that is honestly it. I want to see what I'm the same as you. I'm a deer stalker. I've been grew up on a farm shooting an odd rabbit. Then I moved into deer stalking, and that's what I love. And when I go to all those years ago when we used to walk down Gunmakers Row at the game fair, you could walk for about 7 miles and never reach the end, and you'd spend 2 days at the game fair and never get around it. You know, I love the game fair, and I go every year, and still a great weekend or day out. But it's had to adapt itself now into probably a new world, and change and bring in different things. You know, I know how expensive things are, so we've been lucky enough to be able to stick to a business plan with the Stalking Show, and that's what we intend to do. We don't intend to branch out into really anything else much.
And that's fantastic. That's the key. It's a show that's staying honest to its roots, and in theory, that just means it will keep going on, and hopefully you'll always get lots of people wanting to come and visit the show, and it'll just keep a good reputation.
Yes, and that is the intention. We have no intentions of changing it, really much at all. As I said at the start, a few odd tweaks, bits and pieces. We've started to encourage a little bit of air rifles there, because there's a big push now with the squirrel hunting and sort of culling squirrels and various things. So that certainly sits within our remit. There's a few other bits and pieces, like I say, hunting dogs and various things. I think one of the big things is very important to me is the venison side of it. So as we harvest venison from the field, or wherever you've harvested them, is how we then take that all the way right through so it sits on the table in front of somebody.
Okay, fantastic.
And I think that's massively important to me, and always has been. So we have Jose, who you know very well, the famous game chef and lecturer, and we also have Rachel Green and Chris Marnie and one or two others, and they will be doing lots of stuff on the Really Wild Kitchen stage. Again, we'll be doing skinning of the wild boar on both Saturday and Sunday. Jose will skin a wild boar down, which is always a challenge and quite humorous.
Yep.
And then they'll break the wild boar down, and we'll also be doing some venison. And Rachel and Jose will be cooking that up and doing some great recipes. And they really do go into how the butchery side of it, how to prepare them, how to look after the meat, and the rest of it. Really important to me, that is.
And we need to mention to people that there is obviously the butchery competition again, that you can register for. And I think there's, I think Jose mentioned it's on his, it's been released a few times. It's breaking down a saddle this time and taking all the joints out of it. And there's some great prizes again that you can win from that.
Yeah, yes, again, we try and get people as involved as much as possible, and also, a little bit of education in there. And if anybody's not sure, none of this is about just about a piss take, let's say. Yeah. It's about learning, enjoying, coming along, having a go, learning. And and again, somebody, it's not always the best that wins. It's people that actually are learning along the way, and they win some great prizes, doing that.
100%. And I think that's the best part about it. Well, I don't think we'll go on too long about this, because basically we just want to give people a bit of an overview. The key is you need to come along to Staffordshire Racecourse on April I think I'm going to get this right, 13th and 14th, no, 12th and 13th, isn't it? 12th and 13th.
It was the 13th, 14th last year, Peter.
It was.
It's the 12th and 13th this year. And we look forward to seeing everybody. And
you can go pre-order your tickets now, and you'll get a slight discount if you order early?
A really big discount, to be fair, because it's £15 online at the moment, right up to the week of the show. And then we take them offline, and then it's £20 on the day.
There you go. So get your tickets now, get purchased, come along, do both days, find somewhere to stay, come for both days. It's well worth it.
Well, you get a 2-day ticket for £20. So it's,
there you go.
And we've found that a lot of people are buying 2-day tickets. So there's lots to do on both Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly. If you go to all the events, you see everything that's going on, and you have a wander around the show. Remember, Sunday, fill your bags up, leave the show with some great bargains, and you'll have a great time.
Thanks very much.
No worries at all. Thank you again for just giving us an update on the show, David.
Absolute pleasure, and I look forward to seeing everybody in about 4 weeks' time.
Superb. Well, David's laid it out exactly what's happening at the 2025 Stalking show. He's also obviously been over to Europe to see a few of those other shows, so hopefully we'll incorporate a few of those ideas into this year's Stalking show. Well, I'm going to be there with Alex from Hunter Gatherer Cooking. We are going to be on his stand again, so come along and say hi. We've obviously got a few bits and bobs, see some of the stuff we've been up to, some of the future plans as well. Come and have a chat. Give me some ideas that you might want to hear on the podcast, if there's anything out there, or just pop in and say hello and have a muse around. Anyway, we will catch you in about 4 weeks. See you soon.